We have surely heard of this statement once in our lifetime, in different forms, obviously. You're not enough, or will you be successful if you choose arts? Are you not afraid of failure? Maybe from our school teachers, parents, or galleries and gatekeepers telling you not to exhibit at a certain exhibition because your art is not eligible according to them. And the most dangerous voice, that's the voice within telling you that you will not be able to make it as an artist, or you should not pick up that brush, or you should just continue doing the job or something that you do not love doing. These are the things that our ego and fear feed us. What if I tell you that yes, you are not the artist? Hear me out. Yeah, when I first read about this concept and finally understood it, I had a sense of relief and I felt so liberated. The concept of the genius. The genius in the Roman times was not used as an adjective to identify an intelligent or a clever individual. Rather, it was a term used for a spirit, the genius, that came into an individual, created the art, the invention, or the scientific discovery, and then left. So, whatever credit for that artwork, the architecture, or the scientific invention did not go to that individual, but rather went to the genius, the divine entity. Now, the interesting part is that if that individual fucked up, the blame goes on the genius as well. I find this concept very liberating as an artist. Now think of this as for what you'd like to do as an artist. Make a film, write a book, create a podcast or a YouTube channel, or just create art. Let the genius do its job and you just act as a vessel for the genius to create. All that ego goes down the drain. All that expectation goes down the drain. No burden to change the world with your ideas because they are not yours anymore. The pressure that piles upon all the artists, poof, gone. I think I was first experiencing this concept when in my school and college days I used to just show up in my free time on my desk and started to learn or create something. I think it was the childlike, selfless attitude that was acting at the moment. My brother then sent me this TED Talk by Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which is on a similar concept. Years later, I read her book, The Big Magic, which revolves around the same concept. In the book, she delves into other aspects of how the genius works around us. There was an idea that she was working on, but because of the situations of life, the idea got shelved and she wasn't able to act on it for 2 years. And later in life, she met someone who was acting on the exact same idea with, of course, situational changes, and that blew her mind. That is such a phenomena in all our lives. I'm sure all of us, once in our life, have seen an idea and thought that we could have done it better, or we had this idea way before someone who's executed it. Maybe it was the genius giving up on us and moving on to someone who was there to act on the idea. I believe the genius requires space in this vessel to be able to exist. And I think once we relax and open up our minds, the genius invites itself and helps us create. Maybe while we are driving, taking a shit, taking a shower, or just on a stroll, or doing monotonous jobs. That is when the genius takes over, to create space for the boring and the nothingness. Austin Kleon, in his book Steal Like an Artist, also mentions how he gets his best ideas when he is bored. Julia Cameron, in one of my favorite books, The Artist's Way, mentions that artists need to have a downtime, a time to do nothing at all. She believes defending this time is our right and it requires courage, resilience, and a lot of effort. Another quote from the book The Artist's Way is serious art comes from serious play. I believe that we need to seriously cultivate and nourish the child within us. And maybe for the genius, it is easier to take over a childlike mind. Keith Haring, in one of his interviews, says that children know of something that we as adults have forgotten. Let us all take the leap and the net will appear. Mel Robbins, in one of her interviews, mentioned the I-beam. If you have seen Popeye or Baby's Day Out, there is a baby walking on an I-beam and is about to fall. As soon as the baby takes his last step, there is another I-beam comes to save it and the baby keeps on walking. I think that is how our lives are. We keep on diligently, with conviction, working on something that we care about, and people and solutions come unexpectedly as we move forward. Let's trust the process, dive into the ocean and let the waves do its magic. It is probably our mere job as an artist to show up for our part of the job. Let's go and scribble and make shit art and make shit films and make shit YouTube videos and write shit essays till the genius finally arrives with the most creative work that we have ever done. I would love to know if you have ever experienced the genius in your life.